Hello, this is Janine. So I've been asked to do another video today. When I was doing the live reading yesterday, somebody requested a mini tutorial on how to use your tarot deck for the very first time. So what I've got here in front of me is the Waite deck, and it's made up of 78 different cards, and I've split it into the court cards here at the top, the minor cards here in the middle, and the major cards here in the front. So if you're doing a reading and you get court cards that come out, these will represent possibly other people in your life or even different aspects of your personality. So what we've got is the 4 different elements. We've got the element of fire, which is wands, the element of air, which is swords, the element of water, which is cups, and the element of earth, which is pentacles. So this gives a different feeling to our court card personalities. So the wands will make the people in the court cards more fiery, more creative, more action orientated. The air in the swords cards will make the characters more intellectual, more thought orientated. It can also make a person more anxious as well if they have a lot of air in their character. The cups all relate to emotions, perhaps family orientated people, and the earth in the pentacles can make that person more grounded, but it can also make a person more materialistic as well. So it alters the characters within the cards. Within the court cards themselves, we've got page, knight, queen, and king. So the page will usually come up to represent a young person. It could even represent a child. If it represents an aspect of you, an aspect of your own personality, it can be a young at heart, minded adult. The knight can represent somebody who's slightly unstable. It can also come up to represent a teenager as well. The queen will come up to represent a woman, and the king will come up to represent a man. But this doesn't always hold true either, because the queen could represent the female, the feminine aspects of a male, and the king could represent the masculine aspects of a female. So it could be that you've got quite a loud masculine female, or you could have quite a feminine male there. So it depends on which way that you're going to use the cards. So the element will change the characters, but also the court card will change them as well. Now with the minors also run in the 4 elements. So we've got the element of fire again, wands, the element of air, swords, cups, water, pentacles, earth. So the way that you can use the minor cards to read in a tarot reading is numerology. So the ace will always come up to represent the first card and the start of a situation. So if we apply that to the elements, the ace of pentacles, for example, could represent a new job. So it could represent a move of house, but always in the position where it's the start of something new. If we take the ace of cups, for example, the ace being the very start card in the suit of emotions, it could be a new relationship. It could be the birth of a new baby, and so on with the other ones as well. So the ace of wands could represent a new job or a new hobby. The ace of swords could represent a new learning process, so it could be a new course that that person's starting. So always consider the ace as the start of a situation. When you get further through the deck, you come to the 5s. Now the 5s will then represent the midway aspect of a situation. So far away from the start, but not quite at the end. So the 5s in each different suit, if I just show these here to you. Now we've got the midway situation with the wands, so we can see the people fighting in the card. It's always good to use the symbols as well. And if you look at the storyline, it really helps you with your reading, especially when you're approaching the cards for the very first time. So the 5 of cups, we've got the midway situation with perhaps some heartbreak, so we're dealing with emotions here. And in this card here, we've got the Five of Pentacles. So we've got a midway situation with perhaps property. It could be monetary. So there could be some kind of issues there. So if we get to the very end of the minors, we come to the 10. So we consider the 10 as the very end of the situation in which element it falls in. So the 10 of Pentacles, we now have the culmination of all that monetary and materialistic energy. So it could be that a house has been purchased, everything's gone through, things are now running swimmingly, and the person's looking towards their new project. Within the 10 of Cups, you've got a relationship, you've got children in there as well. So this could be a happy family, so a couple who's finally managed to have the family that they wanted, the children, and the loving family environment. 10 of Swords is a bit more difficult because swords can represent anxiety, they can represent troubles as well. So when those 10 of Swords build up, as you can see 10 of Swords in somebody's back there, it could be to the point where anxiety and depression has got too much, and the next step with that is for the 10 to circle back around to the Ace again, to that new beginning. Same with the 10 of Wands, you've got a person carrying too much responsibility. So it could be that what started off with a very nice creative process in the Ace has now got to the point where that person is taking on too much and they need to let some things go. So it's a really good way to read the minors and the court cards using the elements and also using numerology. Now with the major cards, it's a bit different because what you have here is very heavy life experiences. So the minor cards represent your day-to-day struggles, day-to-day episodes, things that are going on that are not really going to affect you in too big a way. But the majors are these life experiences that we have no control over, and they're kind of our chapters in our lives as well. So things like the Death card. The Death card can mean transformation of a situation, but over a long time. So where you used to use numerology with the minor cards, with the major cards, you really need to dig into the symbology a bit more. And this is where you can use your book as well to kind of dig in a bit deeper with what each major card means. So here we've got the Death card rider, symbolizing that transformation. The Hermit carrying a light. The World. The Judgment card. The High Priestess. And Temperance. Strength. The Wheel of Fortune. There's so much in these major cards that it's difficult to kind of get them across in one go, so you need to consider also the astrological aspects of these cards, and I'm going to do another session to kind of go into that into more detail. So for example, you've got Capricorn there with the Devil.